So we're back, episode 71 of the Dan and Ninko Show, a massive show. First off, I won the picks, so I'm up a game.
Finally.
I'm up a game. Well, every time that you win a pick, I
win every week, though.
Well, I'm up, so you can't win every week if I am up. This past week, you
got a few games.
You knew the Packers were going to win. You knew the Packers were going to win.
I mean, it was closer than I thought it was.
It was a lot closer than I thought.
I don't think the Packers are that good. I mean,
no, the Packers are terrible. I kept texting. I was a little nervous because I was like, what the hell's going on here? The Packers suck.
There's another game. I had the Ravens picked, and they should have freaking won that game against the Bills.
They can't even stop the run. Like, they can't stop the run. They must be the worst in the NFL.
The Packers?
Yeah. Terrible.
No. You know they're running the ball.
Like, they were running the ball every play for 5 yards.
But you knew they were running the ball.
And like everyone in the whole stadium was like, oh, they're gonna run. They're gonna run.
Yep.
Some questionable calls. I would have taken when they got the ball on the 50-yard line in overtime. They had the ball like right there. They need 15 yards to attempt a field goal. I'd have taken a shot right there.
What?
Play action.
6 or whatever.
No, the first play, first down.
Oh, first down.
On the first play. When they got the ball,
they did that once with him though, and he got sacked because he freaked out.
Well, not this time, because I think they would have been.
That time.
They'd have been loaded up, thinking run, and then you put that sucker, pull it, use one of the freaking expensive tight ends that they don't use.
Well, Jonno Smith was out of the game in the second quarter.
What about Hunter Henry? Where's he at?
Sack of potatoes.
He looks like a guy that would do your taxes. You know, like his hair. He's got the receding hairline.
The tough thing I have with Hunter Henry is every time he gets hit, he goes down.
He's not a catch and run guy.
But he literally goes like it's just down.
He's prolonging his career.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to take any unnecessary hits.
Oh.
I'm just gonna go down. He's like a slot receiver.
Yeah. Every time he catches it, just right on the ground.
Just get down. Don't get hit. Don't get hurt. So yeah, that was an interesting week. Tua getting froze was a very shitty experience for many people to watch. And the guy had a concussion 4 days prior to that. Gets hit again.
Back injury is what they said.
That's such bullshit.
Because back injuries, you just start wobbling all over the place. Right?
Anyone could look at that and say that wasn't a back injury. Like any logical like anyone that has any sense of logic, that's not a back injury. So that was a big issue. Everyone was talking about it. I had a comment to say about it, which is true. Like there needs to be some adjustments to the protocols. It's at a point now where if you can pass the testing, they need to remove anyone affiliated with the team, because at the end of the end of the day, it's the team, whoever the assistant or whoever the trainer is for the team, and then the neuro guy. Yeah, but they make the decision.
The thing, like the neuro guy.
Yeah, the neuro guy.
They're not even like neurologists or anything.
No, they're like. Yeah. They need to hire specific. Well, actually, if you hired neurologists, they would say everybody get off the field.
That's the thing. But if you show concussion symptoms, you should be off the field.
Yes, and you shouldn't play 4 days later.
Yeah, I mean, you can easily spot it, right?
And if you want to listen to one of the worst or most uncomfortable interviews I've ever seen, is the head coach, Mike McDaniel, speaking about it after the fact.
Yeah, it was like Fogel.
You know, and he's like, yeah, he got on the plane and he sat down next to me and we watched a movie. It's like. Yeah. Rule 101 on concussions: don't stick your eyes to a small screen and watch a movie. Yeah. It's close your eyes, rest your brain.
Well, I didn't think you'd get on an airplane.
Like
if you have a head injury, why would you go on an airplane?
Dehydrate yourself.
Yeah.
That's not like it's a quick flight. That was
the thing too is it's not like he got his bell rung or something like that. I mean, he had a seizure on the field.
Yes.
I mean, it's a major. I mean, that's. He literally got brain damage on the field.
Yeah. He was froze up, locked up, fencing. They call it fencing.
Yeah, then you're talking like, we hung out, watched the movie, flew on the plane. Like, what the fuck?
I've never seen a guy actually. I've seen people get like frozen. You see a fighter, they get frozen. I've seen football players, they get frozen, but I've never seen like the fingers and all that stuff. It was pretty nasty. And then Prime literally like zoomed in on him like 6 times as he's frozen. Yeah. Whoa, that's not good. It's like, yeah, no shit. Yeah. It's not good.
Because he shouldn't have been on the field.
But it's stupid. It's just stupid. It's stupidity putting the player in that position based on what, money?
Well, the thing is, the player's always going to want to play.
Well, you got to protect the player from the player. But on top of that, the team has to protect their investment, but they don't care because they'll just find another guy. I guarantee if Tua had a second contract or he was making $50 million a year, I bet you we wouldn't have played. I bet you he wouldn't have played. If that was Patrick Mahomes, there's no way he plays. You know,
no, I agree with you with that.
So,
but doesn't it all come down to Mike McDaniel though?
Yeah, it comes down to Mike McDaniel.
You can say you don't, like Belichick says, like he's not an orthopedist and he can't read an MRI, but you can have common sense though. Like,
the common sense rule.
Like, he's fallen down 4 days ago. Like, well, let's hold you out another week and be ready. I mean,
seems like a logical thing, right? Like, let's not push this guy out there too soon. He probably is messed up. Because he could have, I mean, honestly, what is it? Second impact syndrome? Like, you can die from getting hit in the head quickly, like within.
That's why he seized up. I mean,
it's bad.
Most players don't.
That was like the worst possible scenario too for him. The way he got tackled, he got slung down, and then he just hit his head in the exact same spot, like back of the head. Bang.
Yeah, the first one, I was surprised he got concussed with it. I know he kind of whipped his head or whatever, but when the one that happened on Sunday, he kind of like backpedaled a couple of times.
Yeah,
he fell and just kind of hit his head. So kind of.
He needs.
But I mean, did he have another concussion like a game before that or something like that got him to that?
He's had plenty of concussions.
Yeah,
I mean, and then he's 24 years old, so he's going to get more concussions. He's not. Think about this: Patrick Mahomes has been slept twice. I've seen him sleeping twice on the field where they had to have people hold him up. Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's first game as a freshman, he was carted off the field, fencing, like that frozen posture off the field. And he's played a long time. He's been knocked out. He's been hit in the head too. So this isn't going to be the last time that he gets hit in the head at 24. So that's the problem. Like down the line with these big hits, MMA, those guys, if they have a if they got a big fight like that, I think they try to push them like a year.
Yeah,
a year to where
they'll
they
go a year off.
Yeah.
No,
they'll say don't fight for a year.
Yeah, Calvin Kattar when he fought, what's his name, the Samoan Hawaiian guy. I'm blanking on his name, but he took a year off after he took a beating in that fight.
Yeah.
He took a year off before he fought again.
It's a long time.
1 year, and you gave Tua 4 days off. At least with like Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes when they got concussed, they didn't play the next week.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, well, they didn't have and that's another thing. The NFL, they have the 17 games now. They added a game, and then every team plays on a short week.
Yeah.
So how does that help if you play on a Sunday, then you play on a Thursday? They should have added a second bye week and then scheduled it to where every team played their Sunday, or they played so they didn't have the 3 days in between. So you play on a Sunday, you have your bye week, then you play on a Thursday.
If the NFL cared about concussions like they say they do and all that, they'd put something in place that if you get a concussion or you show concussion symptoms or whatever, you're out the next week and your game check is guaranteed that week. And then you're allowed back. Not just clear the concussion protocol. You have to sit out a week. But they're going to pay you to sit out the week.
Well, the thing is, a lot of guys have to go. A lot of guys have to play because they could get replaced. They get replaced, or even a week.
You talked about the concussion testing. It's not really that hard, right?
It's the same questions. It's the same words.
Yeah.
So I think that goes for every sport too. Hockey, soccer, lacrosse, rugby, all these sports where kids and people are getting hit. There's going to be instances of concussions. So the whole, not just the protocols for the football players, there needs to be an adjustment to everything. Like every sport where you have a concussion, I think it's the same test. I think it's the same set of words. I think there's two different sets of words and they just alter it. But if you've been playing since you were in high school, you've taken it a million times.
Yeah. That's what I mean, though, is that it shouldn't just be passing the test. It should be a mandatory, 7 or 10 days off, from contact at that point.
I mean, they've already seen, the football in general has already seen a decline in participation. Because if you're an educated person, if you're looking at this and seeing the long-term side effects of it, you don't want your kids, you're like, nah, Let's do something else. Play baseball, play golf.
Well, there's a bunch of money being poured into flag football, into like professional flag football.
Flag football is great, but the problem with flag too is when you get older, you're going up to make a catch or you're diving for the ball. Like the ground causes I would say the ground causes more head injuries. I mean, Tua hit his head on the ground.
Yeah.
He fell down and hit his head. It's just your momentum. So like I would say week 1 Julio Jones when he made that deep catch to Tom.
He was concussed.
He smashed his head in the ground. He literally dropped the ball. Like he caught the ball, dropped it in his hands. It didn't fall to the ground, so he still completed the pass. But if you watch that in slow-mo, he caught the ball and he smashes his face and then like goes limp. The ball stays in his arms and then gets up.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't shock me that his injury was actually a concussion. They just didn't say it.
Yeah, that's the messed up thing. So do you think Mike McDaniel should get suspended for the year or suspended for an amount of games?
No, because at the end of the day, the coach has an escape in saying the medical people cleared him.
I don't think so.
They're not going to suspend him
unless
he was told he shouldn't go back in. He passed the concussion test, but he shouldn't go back in. And then he said, "Oh, he passed. He's fine."
But you go to the common sense thing, though, is if you watch the video.
A lot of these. Do you think he has common sense? Like some of these people. Some people are strictly by the book.
You care about the players that are playing.
I understand that, but there's a lot of people that are like white and black. This is the way it is. Test, do the test, passed, we're good. No, there's no common sense there. Think about it. How many really educated people that are brilliant have no common sense? A lot. There's street smarts, no street smarts. A guy could be an idiot in school, but he's smart as hell, in situational awareness and understanding what things are just logically, this isn't right, this is right. And then some people are like, what are you talking about? You're like, what do you mean? Like that's simple. It's very simple.
Yeah, but how do you get up in a press conference and say, no, Tua didn't have a concussion, he had a back injury? I don't
know.
I
don't know. Because
you literally watch him whip his head a little bit on Sunday, get up, isn't that traditional concussion symptoms when you're walking and all of a sudden,
you would assume.
The linemen knew it. They went over and held him up.
Yeah, they had to hold him, and he was like,
and then got him.
Jello legs.
They called for somebody right away, and they start walking him out. And then 40 minutes later, he's back in the game with a back injury?
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense.
But, you have to have common sense at some point. There's no way you could look. There isn't anybody on planet Earth that can look at that and go, you know what? That looks like a back injury. You can show like a 5-year-old kid. Do you think that's like a back injury or maybe a head injury? And they're going to say, well, it's probably a head. I fell down once and got woozy like that.
Yeah, it's not a good look for the NFL. It was. Now they're going to go and be proactive and make changes and fire the guy, the neuro guy.
What does that really do, though?
It doesn't. Well, here's the thing. The damage is done to the kid. Like, this guy's going to have maybe an issue down the road. We don't know. Right now he's fine. That's just like an MMA fighter.
Fine?
I'm saying Tua right now, he's in his own head. He's like, oh, I'm great. I can play. I'm fine. He shouldn't play.
No.
He might not. He shouldn't play the rest of the year, in my opinion. I think that he shouldn't play the rest of the year. He probably has a massive, massive lawsuit that he could sue the NFL
and
the Dolphins for putting him back on the field.
If you actually think about it, right, he goes into that game as one of the top-rated quarterbacks in the NFL
and he was killing it.
Yeah, and you could make an argument that, like, hey, I could be getting a contract like Patrick Mahomes and all that. It's $50 million a year.
So, like, lost. If something happens to where he doesn't get back to where he was, or he doesn't feel like the same person and doesn't play like the same guy, he could go after lost wages. Future lost wages.
Just think if he comes back in a couple weeks and then he's out there and they struggle,
or if he gets hit, or if he gets knocked out again.
Yeah, no.
If he gets knocked out again, if that happens,
again, his career's over.
It's over. They're gonna say you're done. You can't play football anymore. Then what? Then they're gonna say, well, you went out on the field and you understood the risks that were involved in this. Now our liability is zero. We have no liability. They're going to want him to go back on the field. I guarantee that the Miami Dolphins, they're going to do everything right. They're going to do the testing. They're going to want him to say, I'm good and I can play. And then once he steps on that field again, their liability is gone. Like, there's a reason why teams film you walking onto the practice field. Like there's a guy up on a thing, up on the lift with his camera, and he films every person coming up the steps onto the practice field. You're voluntarily walking onto this field knowing the risks involved.
Oh, really?
When there's a fight, like an altercation in camp or any type of practice, they make sure to film it just in case.
So they can get away.
Just in case something happens, if a guy gets hurt, a helmet comes off, somebody gets hit in the head, somebody gets hit in the face, that they can prove that the liability is not with them and somebody else did this. Like there was an issue, there was a fight, they have it on tape. Then if there's any legal ramifications, they have proof.
That makes sense, though.
I always wonder, like I'm always like, when I was practicing, I always be like, why are they filming the guys coming up the steps? They're like filming you.
Each one.
Just
like,
every group.
They tell you to stop and state your name.
Every person. Like they have you on tape.
Yeah.
So if anything happens, he walked up the steps. He assumed the risk. He's the one that injured himself. We have no liability.
Yeah. But then you keep going to other injuries, not even just head injuries now, and you look at J.J. Watt.
I know, that's scary too.
Who almost died.
AFib?
AFib in his heart.
He should. He should go and have the procedure done because they do like an ablation.
He had the procedure, I think, done.
No, I don't. They burned. No, they shocked his heart back into rhythm.
I thought he had a procedure though done. Is what they were saying.
No, if they have the procedure, he's out like I think 8 weeks or something. So I guess when your heart goes into AFib, it starts to flutter. And it doesn't get back into the normal. I think everyone has flutters. Like I've had a flutter. Everyone's had like an irregular heartbeat. It's like it like, but it feels like it's skipping a beat, and you're like, oh shit, and then it goes back, and you're okay. I think when you go into AFib, it kind of stays in that weird spot, and they have to actually shock it
to get it
back in a regular rhythm. But to get that to where it doesn't happen again, because even in like the doctor would say. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen a week from now. It could happen a year from now. It might not. It could happen 20 years. It could never happen again after the first AFib event. Yeah. But to make sure it doesn't happen, I think they go in and they burn a certain area of their neuro in your heart. Not neuro. Was it the electrodes in your heart? They like cauterize or burn in a section that so it doesn't go into that AFib, and then that's why he'd be out.
But then you talk about player safety. How on earth would the Cardinals let him even play in that game?
Well, I think they go back to the medical. So they say he talked to the doctors, he spoke with a cardiovascular specialist. Died
today, but go on the football field.
I think, what is it? Stroke, cardiac arrest. That's, I think, the stroke, because I think when you're in that AFib, you could throw a clot, and then if it goes in your head or your lungs, you're dead.
Yeah.
So
that's good. Don't worry about head injury then.
No, all this shit's giving me anxiety, though. I need to go see somebody.
You need to go see the cardiologist.
It's just too many. There's just so much shit. It's like, oh, you play too long, you're in trouble. Oh, as you get older, you see all these things that are bad.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell? You got kids, you got a wife.
You didn't consider it when you were playing.
Well, when you think about anybody when they're young, they don't think about the consequences.
No, you think you're invincible.
When you're in your 20s, you're trying to make money. You're trying to play in the NFL. You're trying to live a certain dream that you're supposed to just, the risk, fold the cards, and then not know. Like, all right, what's going to happen? Some guys have issues. Some guys don't. Some guys, look at, Troy Aikman said that he didn't remember playing in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know.
He looks pretty damn good still. He looks good. I don't know.
Depends on what you think.
I think he looks good. We don't know what he's, behind closed doors, how he feels. But for the majority of it, some guys that have had concussions and had issues, they're okay. Some guys aren't. Some guys don't make it that long. So I guess you can't live life that way, but it's scary. It's scary. When you have kids, especially, you're like, damn, I don't want to freaking leave, or I don't want to have an issue. You want to live as long as possible. But every single day there's people that have problems that don't want to go. So I don't know. What are you going to do? Just got to live as best you can. You got to buy that CTSV. You got to buy that CT5 Blackwing. You got to get a damn Hellcat wherever it's at.
Get the handicap sticker ready.
Well, the Hellcat, not really.
No, Hellcat, no, but the CTS or the
CT5V.
Yeah.
No, that's not an old timer car.
We've kind of proven it.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
But hey,
You want to go through questions now?
yeah, let's do the
Or
questions.
not questions or comments or whatever. What is it? Comments?
Questions and comments.
I might get a little heated during this, so.
All right. Well, because they're calling you out, saying you're wrong.
Just stupid shit is being said. So.
All right. Let's go. Let's hear it.
All right, I like this one. Also, a TD is a TD, but that TD pass 3 seconds after the play clock hit 0.
That was crazy.
But people forget he had to delay a game the play before.
Well,
that
was terrible because not only did it go to 0, it went back to 40, and the ball wasn't snapped yet. So they show the refs, and the refs like, oh, I thought that was I thought we reset it.
Yeah.
He thought it was reset.
Yeah.
That's bad. And if you're a Green Bay Packers fan or in the stadium, the Bucs got away with that too.
Yeah.
They got away with when it went to 0.
Yeah.
They snapped the ball. They scored a touchdown. Then they did it again, and then they called it on the 2 point.
But they say, though, they do give them the second on it because
what they do.
The judge is watching the snap. He looks up. He sees it go to 0, and then he looks back to see if it snaps. So you kind of have that time.
That one was the worst one I've ever seen.
Oh, it was like 3 or 4 seconds.
It was.
And he just had a delay game right before that.
It was look at the clock, 40, look back at the ball, holding the ball, snap.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but I bet you Packers fans were like going crazy.
Well, would the players in the field be like, what the I mean,
you got to go nuts.
Parker was wide open.
You got to go nuts.
He came across
Maybe they were like,
field.
yo, like this is a penalty or something. I don't know.
Had to because nobody covered Devontae Parker.
Nobody touched him.
He's him. I'm assuming that's about Zappy, which that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So
he's the guy?
Yeah.
Come on, people. He's a kid. That was his first. They ran the ball like every play, and when he did throw it, he threw like 3 passes that were decent, and then he got crushed a couple times. They could have knocked him out of the game, like those free rushes where he got zinged.
Oh, from Isaiah.
If they get him in the head, if they hit him in the head and he's out, who's our quarterback? I kept thinking like, get up. Who the hell's the quarterback?
I think it would be Kendrick Bourne. I think is what they were talking about.
Scary.
Or Hunter Henry, it could have been, they said.
Scary.
But then Jonnu Smith went out, too, who breaking news on that, he now has a low ankle sprain.
Oh, that's fine. Tape him up.
Week to week.
Low ankles, no big deal.
Oh, there's no problem?
High ankles, max problem.
All right. This is coming from somebody that knows a lot about the Patriots, is a big Patriots fan, but I really hate this take so much. Like, just fucking... I have to take a second because I would breathe it out.
Breathe.
Pressure on Mac now. Zappy filled right in, probably the same result. Mac now has to deliver.
No.
Shut the fuck up. It's not the same. Mac Jones would have killed the Packers.
They would have thrown the ball way more.
Yeah.
They would have had more successful passing plays. They wouldn't have ran the ball. They would have been able to check with me at the line of scrimmage. They would have been able to check in and out of certain plays. The playbook went from here. No, here, let's go like this. The playbook went from here to Hoyer to Zappy.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Mac, Hoyer, Zappy.
It was Zappy.
Zappy. Like, couple pass plays, run the ball, stick with what we tell you to run, don't check out of a play. Hopefully the protections are correct and you don't get killed, which he did a couple times. Hoyer gets killed in like one snap.
Yeah, no.
And then Mac, you got to get Mac back. But in the meantime, this here, for the Lions game, Zappy's playbook's going to go from this to like this. It won't be Hoyer, but it'll be like this. It won't be here. It'll be here, like right here.
I mean, everybody is all over this kid. He played almost 4 quarters, right? Because he went in at the end of the first.
I wonder what he was. I wonder what on the sideline he was probably like.
Yeah, but
shit.
He was 10 of 15 for 99 yards and a touchdown. And he's the next coming of Tom Brady now. Like he's overtaken Mac Jones already, going 10 of 15 for 99 yards.
Speaking of Tom Brady, we'll
get to that like after the questions.
What's that gonna cost Giselle? Hey, not bad. She's worth $400 million. He's worth $250. Give me half. Give me half of that. Half.
Do you think we could have won had Mac not gone down last week?
Yeah,
100%.
Of course. They could have won that game.
They would have won. They would have beat
not that game. You know what I mean?
Packers game.
The Packers game.
They would have beat the Packers by 2 touchdowns if Mac Jones was there.
I believe that.
I mean, because the way they were running the ball,
play action pass would have been just you got to eat them up. Boom, pull that sucker out over the top.
Hey, Ninko, Geno Smith looking good. Wilson, not so much.
I like Geno Smith.
Did you say something like about Zach Wilson that you thought was going to be good? Or not good? Or
Yeah, I thought he was
You thought
just.
he'd be good.
I thought he was a gunslinger.
Okay.
I thought he was just a guy that's going to go in
sucks.
and throw it into multiple coverages, which he kind of does. I don't. I'm happy that Geno Smith is playing good football. I mean, it's been a long time. He was in a bad spot. I mean, it was actually in a rough spot when he was with the Jets. I got him a few times. I can't believe he's still playing. He stuck around, still making backup money.
Yeah.
These freaking quarterbacks stealing.
You might get upset with this one.
Oh no!
Seriously.
Bring back Cam.
Should they call Cam? He could probably help them run this type of offense.
This type of offense,
Yeah, I mean, if you don't pass it.
I guess, just hand it off. I guess, but he's actually going to have to come in a week and learn a new system.
Yeah, I think it could happen.
Might be hard for anybody.
Let's see. 1-3. Do these Patriots have what it takes to climb out of this hole?
In their next 5 games, I think they can. Their schedule's pretty winnable.
Yeah, especially if
You
Matt
know,
comes
Lions, you can beat the Lions. Bears, you can beat the Bears.
double Jets.
Jets, depending on what Jets
Oh,
team you get. I think they'll beat the Jets. I think they'll split with the Jets. So you figure if they play the Jets twice, they beat the Bears, Lions, and Jets. That's 3 wins. That's 4-3. They might be 4-4.
Well, you have Lions, Browns, Bears, Jets, Colts, Jets.
I think they can win all. They can win
Every
all those.
one of those games.
They can win
Especially
all those.
If Mac plays,
They're going to split the Jets, and they're going to win the rest of them. So maybe they lose to the Browns and the Jets. So say 2 of those games.
Not going to lose to the Jets. But if Mac comes back on these games, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 straight possible wins. That puts them to 7-3 down the stretch run.
We're good. They're good.
I mean,
you like my tie-dye shirt? Oh, I need to get back in the gym hard. I'm getting a little soft. Get back at
Kendrick
it.
Bourne, 2021, our best wide receiver. 2022, bench warmer. How?
Bad attitude.
Yeah.
That's how. Me guy. Maybe he's a me guy. I don't know, but that's how you get benched.
Zappy looks good. Feel like he looks better running this offense.
Are these
it's
people-
not the offense? Like, this isn't the offense that they were gonna like. They didn't set out in like okay. In
That guy must be
2022,
from Mass, and he went to the dispensary and just smoked a bowl, high as hell.
Like what offense?
Watch
is it
the
to
game.
just hand the ball off nonstop.
They must have, in his, I mean, I'm thinking like they must have smoked a bowl or something, been high as a kite, watched the game, and been like, whoa, we're almost beating Green Bay. Every run plays the pass, bro. Whoa, we're going to win. Zappy's the man, bro.
Yeah,
Let's get zapped. Let's get
Well,
zapped.
man, I sent you the article of the Boston Globe. Like, you know, did Zappy win the job yet? Like, what the fuck? Did we watch the same game? He went 10 of 15 for 99 yards.
People are wild, bro.
If you put an above average quarterback on this team, the Patriots are 3-1 or 4-0.
Above average quarterback?
Yeah.
So, like,
That's the thing is, I mean, how do you debate that? You say
Yeah.
like a top 5 quarterback?
Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Tom Brady
Yeah.
type?
I mean, yeah, I guess. Like if you put Aaron Rodgers on the Patriots, would they be 3-1, 4-0? Probably
Maybe.
they could be.
I would say, yeah. Aaron Rodgers. He's freaking good.
I think Mac Jones is good. Everybody keeps forgetting he's like you're saying that Zappy was great because he's a rookie.
I
Mac
think-
Jones is a second year.
Did you see some of those throws that Aaron Rodgers made, though?
Yeah, they're nuts,
Dude, they're like crazy in the bucket throws.
Yeah,
that one that the
That one
receiver
that he
dropped.
Yeah,
Dude, that's like he like just.
was
and
50 yards.
That sucker just right in the hands.
the touchdown passes were just like
It's crazy. Like
he's
you could see the difference between his arm and like Mac's arm. Like his arm is like he just like, and that thing's like, it's
but-
like coming.
Wouldn't you be pissed off if you're Aaron Rodgers right now though? Like
That's what
this
Bill's
fucking
doing.
team
Bill's
I'm
like,
on?
hey, if you want to get out of this place,
Yeah, I know.
You know, we can make a trade, pay whatever you want. Be here next year.
We'll get you some more weapons.
Aaron Rodgers, Pats, that'd be insane.
Should Zappy start instead of Hoyer if he's cleared for next week's games?
Well, Hoyer's not going to play,
Matters.
so
I don't think it matters.
it doesn't. Zappy's going to play against the Lions. That's my
If
my
Mac
thought.
doesn't play.
Don't push Mac out
Here we
too
go.
early,
this is,
though.
This one for you. Looking forward to Nink's dreadful hot takes so I can mock him.
What are my hot takes? What's a dreadful hot take? I'd love to know.
That Cadillacs are for younger people.
Well, that's not a hot take. It's a known thing. It's like, it's not a hot take. Everyone knows that Cadillacs are awesome.
Do you think once Mac comes back, they keep Zappy as the backup instead of Hoyer?
Hoyer might be on IR. They might IR Hoyer.
I think Hoyer was knocked into a quarterback coach.
I don't think Hoyer should play anymore. He's had a bunch of concussions.
That wasn't that big of a hit.
Well, that's a problem. Once you get hit like that, or once you have a few concussions, they're easier to get.
Yeah.
So he just got binged, and then he felt the concussion coming on.
All right, so you want to get into the Tom Brady situation?
Tom Brady and Giselle hire lawyers, divorce lawyers.
Brady's gonna be getting some money.
They're going for it. They're going for it. The divorce. They want to separate. I wonder how that works when you're uber rich like that.
I think you go your separate ways, right?
You think? This is what I would think. If you're very rich, this isn't like one person was the breadwinner and the other person was like, they gave up their career.
They both brought a ton of money.
Both had a lot of money. Yeah. They both made a lot of money. Why don't you just figure out the kids and then you take what you want? But that's the problem, I guess. Like, I like that house. Nope, I like that house. Well, that's mine. Nope, that's mine. That's the problem.
Seems pretty easy to figure out, though.
Who wants a Montana house?
That's what I mean. You got 4 of them. You got like 4 or 5 houses. Just like, okay, we'll do a draft. You pick first. You get that one.
Cut them
in
half.
Pick. We snake back. I get the 3rd pick. You get the 4th pick. It's like fantasy football.
Cut it in half.
Do that, or if you have so many houses, it's like, okay, you use it from January to June. I'll use it from July to December.
You would think that it'd be easier to figure out, but it's not. Maybe more money, more problems when it comes to that. Because if she's worth $400 million,
I mean, you need to have attorneys because you need to draw it up. So,
because what if she's like, I want half a TB12?
Oh, that would be Brady brand.
I want half of Brady brand.
Oh, no, I don't know if we give that up.
She wants half his rings.
Does she want to split time with Alex Guerrero too?
I want. What I mean, you don't know. You don't know. Like sometimes
half the rings. Yeah.
You don't know. People are ruthless, man. You go through divorces. You've seen it. I think we've all seen it. Somebody that you know.
Well, that'd be the funniest thing ever, though. If she got half his rings.
It'd be sad. That'd be terrible.
Yeah, Tom. Okay, you get to pick your 3 favorite.
What do you
rings.
want?
You get your 3. I get the rest.
You get your 3. Which one do you like the most? I want that one.
So you think this was all over this season?
No, I think it was probably. I mean, everything. Isn't any type of relationship like a thing? Something happens, and it's like a domino. It's like one thing, then another thing.
But I'm saying the thing that moved it over the edge.
Probably coming back.
Yeah.
Like
if he didn't come back, then
I think I don't think he looks like he's in love with playing this year. I think that he looks like he's got a lot of stress on his mind. You could tell by the way he's reacting in certain situations. I mean,
you don't look. He really cares.
No, like here's the thing: if somebody was to tell Tom, hey Tom, you're going to come back, but you guys are probably going to go like 10-7, and you're not really going to make it that deep in the playoffs. If that's the case, we don't know, but he'd probably say like, all right, cool, I'm good. But it's the mentality. It's like the competitor and somebody like, oh, no, if I come back, we're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to win it. And then I'll ride off in the sunset. That never happens.
Do you think he plays more now since he doesn't have that distraction?
It depends on how the season goes. You see that last game where he got hit and he's like holding his shoulder.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I thought that was going to be like the.
Like he was like. Like he was like anymore. This and just got. And then he was like holding his arm. I'm like, oh, man.
You don't think he can make the grand gesture here to Giselle and drop the attorneys and just say, I tore my rotator cuff on that hit and I'm out and I'm going to retire?
I think it's like, isn't anything like that, like once you step into that realm, you don't go back? Like once you go to that point,
I don't know. Who knows?
With the lawyers and stuff and like, but then also the mentality of the athlete, he's not going to quit. He's not going to stop.
I think he might quit this year.
He's not. He's not going to quit.
They're not going to be good.
How would TB12 brand look with him stopping midway through the year? Like he has a business and he has things that he has to also.
$400 t-shirts, $600 pairs of underwear.
That's what I'm saying. Like
good.
he has a brand that
People are still buying it.
He has to have a brand image. That image couldn't be of him retiring.
He already had his image is already solidified.
It's not if he stopped this year. Not if he stopped mid-season.
That would change anything?
People, if Tom stopped midway through the year, would that change people's idea of his brand? Of course it would.
I don't think it would. Why would it? These people don't even know. Most of these people don't even know anything about football. You have you have the Boston Globe, Zappy, the new quarterback of the Patriots. It's just illogical. Yeah. It wouldn't change anybody's perception of his brand or image or anything. I don't think. Maybe yours.
I feel like it. In his mind, he thinks it would. I think in his mind, he would say, "I can't do it."
Fake an injury, or not fake an injury, but just say, I messed my shoulder up. I can't throw right now the way I want to throw. I'm out for the next 6 weeks.
Time will tell, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Do you see him signing with another team next year?
No. I see him retiring. He's got like $375 million waiting for him.
He's had that, though. He had that at the beginning of this year.
I know. Think Giselle holds on? We'll divorce next year. Get that contract. It's just sad because everyone's in your business now.
Yeah.
Everyone's in your business. It's going
to be reported on.
Yeah, all over.
Beyond belief, just nonstop.
Crazy. All right, let's take a break. I got to go to the bathroom.
All right.
So we're back. Feeling great. Feeling good.
Dropped like 5 pounds.
Like I should. Then I was number one. I had to pee.
Before you get into the picks, I want to talk about the Ravens-Bills game that screwed me in the picks.
That did screw you.
I mean, it was like...
Why wouldn't they kick the field goal?
You go up 3. I mean, you'd stop
Put the pressure on them.
Yeah.
Put the pressure on them. They have to go down and kick the field goal or score. Yeah. They could throw a pick, or fumble. Anything could happen.
I don't even get the logic of it.
I don't either.
I mean, it was only a couple minutes left in the game or something like that at that point.
Yeah, that was.
And then the play call, like you have Lamar kind of like back up and roll out.
I don't know, but Harbaugh lost that game for him. He could easily say that. I mean, I screwed up. I lost the game. I should have kicked the field goal.
But Harbaugh's lost a lot of games for them, though.
But he's aggressive, so you can't go And if he would have kicked the field goal and they would have lost, people would have been like, "You have Lamar. You should have went for it. You should have scored a touchdown and put the pressure on the Bills." So it's like a lose-lose. Like you do it and you lose. People are questioning why you kicked the field goal. You go and you score. You don't score. You don't get it. Then you lose. I don't know. I just think that when you have Lamar, it gives you a lot more confidence to go for it in those instances because he's so hard to stop. The guy's freaking insane.
Well, I get that, but the play call was terrible too on it, though.
Yeah, the play call was bad.
I want to go to that play. That was the other thing I wanted to go with play calling. How everybody has been all over Matt Patricia.
I think he's actually done a good job.
That's what I mean. Like everybody's like, "Well, look at this one play call." You can do that with the best offensive play callers in all of football. If you looked at every single play they call, you can find bad plays they call.
Yes, I think he's done a great job. With a backup quarterback, and you're in it till the end with Green Bay.
They've been
go
in
to
every
overtime
game that they've played.
You go to overtime with Green Bay Packers. If somebody was to say you're going to take Zappy and you're going to go into overtime with the Green Bay Packers before that even happens, they'd say, "Get the hell out of here. That's not going to happen."
Yeah, no, I think he's been phenomenal as a play caller.
I think he's been good. I think he's been really good.
You were one of his biggest critics.
I wasn't a critic. I was questioning the logic behind it. Why would you go and put him in that position when it's putting a lot of pressure on him to be a good OC, but also to mentor a second-year quarterback who should make a jump and be a better quarterback than he was last year. So everyone's in this pressure cooker. I mean, everybody. And if you go out and you get like a Billy O'Brien, then people are like, okay. And then that gives Bill a little bit more leeway to say, oh, yeah, well, we like, oh, Billy, oh, he sucked. Now it's, Bill, you suck. Why do you suck? You made all these decisions. You are the one that made this happen. Explain to us why you thought this would work. Yeah, and they're 1-3. They are 1-3 at this point, but they look to have more fight in them than we suspected them to have.
Well, they're 1-3, but they've been in every game. All the games they've lost, they've been in. Like, I mean, it could have went either way, right? Like, they could have beat the Green Bay Packers there. They could have beat the Ravens, and then they could have beat the Dolphins. I mean, they had a bunch of just a couple bad plays that changed the game. So it wasn't the play calling that it was just the execution of certain plays and mistakes is what cost them the game. It's not the play calling. And I just want everybody to kind of realize that it is not the play calling, which everybody talks about, that Matt Patricia can't do this, he can't do that. He surprised me. They're even. I think his play calling is even better than I thought it would be. I think he's done a great job with it.
I think he's done a good job.
Yeah. All right, but we'll get into picks.
We're gonna do these picks?
I'll have to retake my lead here.
Oh.
I'm not gonna hand it to you.
We will see.
All right, so you got a Thursday night game. Colts at the Broncos.
Colts. Broncos suck.
I am going to
go Broncos. Go Broncos.
I'm going to go Broncos.
Okay.
They're home, mile high.
2 games down.
I think the Colts suck. Giants at the Packers. Both 3-1 teams.
Packers. Go Giants.
I can't.
Go Giants.
I don't want to go either of these teams. I don't want to pick this game. I'm going to go Packers.
All right. Damn it.
Steelers at the Bills.
Bills.
Chargers at the Browns.
Browns.
Wow.
Chargers suck.
You said they were going to be one of the best teams in the NFL, and
no, not this year.
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to go Chargers. I don't think the Browns are that good. Your hometown Bears versus the Vikings.
Vikings.
You know that I saw a stat today. You know that Cooper Kupp has 8 more receptions than Justin Fields has completed passes.
Really? Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's not very good. Seahawks at the Saints.
That's a tough one. Saints.
I'm also going to go Saints. Dolphins at the Jets. Jets. Jets.
Who's the backup for Miami?
Bridgewater.
Dolphins.
I'm going to go Dolphins. I just can't take the fucking Jets. I think if they played any other team, I might take the other team. Falcons at the Buccaneers.
Bucks.
I'll go Bucks. Titans at the Commanders.
Titans.
Texans at the Jaguars.
Jaguars. They look pretty good.
Yeah, Jaguars. 49ers at the Panthers.
49ers. Panthers suck.
49ers. Cowboys at the Rams.
Cowboys are on fire. I think I'm going Cowboys.
I'm going Cowboys too on that one. I think the Rams look terrible.
They just hungover. Super Bowl.
Eagles at the Cardinals.
Eagles. Fly Eagles.
Yeah. Eagles. Bengals at the Ravens.
Ravens.
I'll go Bengals.
Okay.
Raiders at the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs. What's up with your boy Josh McDaniels? Is he going to get fired soon?
He's got a lot of money guaranteed to him. Probably not.
Fucking weirdest haircut in the world will come down to him. He's had a couple closed-door meetings, they said, with him. How could you even talk to that guy?
I don't know. I would laugh.
Like, would you just, stare right at...
I would instantly start laughing. Like, what is your head?
All right, and then we're going to have back to throwback uniforms for the first time in, 10 years for the Patriots. They're the old...
Patriots. I'm going Pats.
That was a strong one.
Throwbacks, Lions, Patriots. At home, got to go Pats.
I'm going to go Patriots, of course.
Yeah.
But I am worried about if Zappi's the quarterback.
He'll
I'm
be
fucking
fine.
really worried.
He'll be fine.
The Lions
they're
have
going to run
a ton of points.
They're going to run the football.
Lions have scored a ton of points.
They're going to control the clock.
So, so how many throws, if Zappy plays, how many throws does he have in this game?
15.
He had 15 last week.
Yeah. High ceiling of 20. He'll go 10 for 20.
The other thing, too, is his throws were terrible.
Not when the guy was wide open.
You could have made that throw.
His throws were fine.
No, they weren't. There was a ton of throws that people were diving all over the place to try to get at people's feet.
He'll be fine. He's going to settle down. He was thrown into the fire. He was thrown into the wolves.
Against a defense that couldn't stop the run?
I'm saying in this situation, he's going to have a week of practice. He's going to have the confidence of the coaches are going to say, listen, you did great last week, and that's without thinking you're going to play this week. You're going to be great. Boost him up.
If Hoyer was the quarterback, if Hoyer didn't get knocked out of the game, they would have won the game.
Probably.
I mean, they would have thrown the ball a little bit more, had a couple play action passes and everything, and they would have won that game.
But if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
You say this all the time.
I
then you
understand.
go into all the ifs.
You can't. You just
You
gotta
go
live.
into
You
them
got to
all.
live with the life that you dealt with. You got to deal with the hand that you got. You're a poker guy. Whatever
Yeah.
hand you get, you got to deal with it. So
Yeah, you got to make the best of it.
got to make the best of it. Hoyer went down. King. Rookie comes in. Throw that sucker.
He didn't throw it though.
They couldn't. They were nervous. They were scared.
He was terrified.
He was terrified. I would too if you got freaking. He was like this. Wing.
So if Mac Jones plays, then you have them destroying the Lions.
I don't want Mac Jones to play. Give him another week.
So you think he'd be ready to come back next week?
Probably, but give him another week. Just give him one more week. They'll be fine. They're going to beat the Lions.
I gave 2 or 3 days, 4 days with a concussion.
Yeah, now he's
So
not.
you're thinking that Mac's going to return against the Browns
Yes,
the following week,
that's the return date. 2 weeks, missed 2 games, back for the Browns.
and then back the rest of the season?
And back.
Do they beat the Jets twice with Mac Jones?
They split.
Oh, stop it!
They always split with the Jets.
Like, don't.
Maybe
We've
it's
been
my-
over this.
I don't know.
We've
Whatever.
been over this.
Okay. I feel like they're going to split this year. The Jets are freaking decent. They got a lot of talent. They have a lot of talent. They do.
The quarterback's terrible.
But they got talent. So it's hard to beat talent.
Patriots have talent.
Yeah, but
1-3,
well, what's the Jets right now?
2-2.
So they got to beat them. They got to beat them.
They are 2-2. They got crushed by the Ravens. They beat the Browns by 1. They got crushed by the Bengals, and they beat the Steelers at the end of the game.
Oh yeah, they're right. That's right. The Steelers they could have lost that game.
Who, the Jets?
Yeah.
They should have.
Like they should have lost that game.
Yeah. It was who could throw more interceptions. That's what there was. There was
Yeah.
6 or 7 interceptions in that game.
Well, you know what though? When I look at they've been shitty for so long. They have so much first round talent that's what's scary. It's like,
But
dude, they're freaking crazy. Their
Nothing's
defense
changed
too.
in 20 years, though.
I like Saleh though. I think he's a good coach. I like his mentality.
You know they'll be fired after this year if they go
I don't think so.
6-11.
I don't think they'll fire him. I don't think so.
What, one more year at it?
One more year at it. They usually give you 3. This is his
Sixth
second.
year? Oh no, it is the second.
Yeah. They
Bring
usually give you
Gase back?
3. Oh. Crazy man. Crazy eyes.
Is he getting ready to go hang out with the Rats again?
Yeah, that's why I have anxiety.
The Rats?
Yeah, the Rats. I don't like New York. I don't like New York. I don't like traveling there.
How you transfer to Bristol?
Because that's where I gotta go on TV at.
Why can't you just do it from home?
Because they won't. I don't know. They want me to be in studio.
They just like you there that
They
much?
say I'm better in studio.
Really?
Yeah. They want everyone to get back to like
Wearing
being in
fucking
studio.
like the wrong sneakers with a suit?
Yeah, they were gym shoes. I wore gym shoes with a suit. I just didn't have the shoes. Sometimes you never see my shoes. Like today, I got these on. These aren't Brunt, so don't even look at them. And I got no socks on because I just came. Look at that bullet wound there.
What is that?
I got hit in the leg right there versus the Jets by my freaking long snapper. Leg whipped me. Put a hole in my
really?
leg. Yeah. Bad one. Had to have
Come out of
it.
the game?
Nope. Didn't travel the next week to Miami because I had a blood clot in my leg too. So
What, from that?
yeah, like messed up one of the veins in my leg, so it like built up in the.
Was it bleeding during the game then?
Oh yeah, I had a massive thing on my leg.
That's what they do.
They just put a thing like a pad over it with like a hard shell, taped it up really tight. I played the game. Then during the week, the tissue died, so then they had to debrieve it. And then I had a hole down in my bone, so then they had to pack it with like this gauze that has some type of antibacterial in it. Then I had to get on antibiotics so I didn't get infected. And then it took about 2.5 months to heal. It was awesome.
Is that your worst injury?
No, I tore my ACL. This was
I know,
more
but,
like just like, was that my worst like wound?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably worst wound. Here, I'll send this to so that's the day of the game when I got home.
Ugh.
This is during the week. This is when they opened it. And then this is when I was playing with it. It was just like a hole.
They would just put something over it.
They would put gauze in it and then put a little plastic piece over it, and I'd tape it. And then every day after practice, I'd have to clean it out, make sure it didn't get infected, because it was like a gun hole. It was like a gunshot. Look at that.
Was it the whole season basically?
No, that was.
No, I'm saying it was. The rest of the season was probably like that, right?
Yeah,
It had
yeah.
to heal when you could stop having to put gauze
See,
in it.
it's
and
just
stuff.
like a hole. It's like a nice hole in your leg. We'll put it up there. You could see it. It was fun. It was great. It was awesome. This was when everyone can see, this is when they took all the shit out because it was dead. And then this is what it looked like
They just numb you
the
up?
day of the game. No, they didn't numb me up. They just squeezed it all out like a zit.
Oh, it just all
And it just came out.
was disgusting.
It hurt. And it was black because it was dead. It's all dead. So, yeah, it's great.
Did you know that they were going to be doing that?
Finish your sandwich. Let's
Yeah.
put a little jelly on it.
You know they were going to be doing that?
No. See, like the black stuff was dead tissue.
Yeah.
So they had to get it all out. Which,
So they didn't say anything to you. They said, okay, we got to get this out.
we got to get this out. And just squeezed it. And it just.
But you were out a game with that?
No, I didn't miss a game.
I thought you said you missed a game because you
No.
got blood clot.
No. I happened in a game.
Yeah.
Practiced all week. I didn't travel on Friday because I traveled the Saturday before Miami because they were worried about a blood clot.
Oh, okay. So you still went.
So
You just
I
didn't go with
went.
the
I
team.
went on a private jet. I went on Mr. Kraft's.
Ooh. Did you go with him?
Hawking something. Huh?
Was he on the plane
No,
too?
I was by myself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you not like little jets like that?
I did not.
You get a little nervous?
I was nervous. Did not like it, but I made it. It was all right.
And then what, you travel back with the team?
Yep. Back with the team.
Do people get upset with you that you got to travel privately out there?
No, I don't think they cared. I don't think they knew. I think they just. Who's calling me? Tennessee. I don't know who this is. Eagleville, Tennessee. Let that go. But I just think people were like, "Oh yeah, Ninko's going to be here for the game."
They just didn't realize that you were even there, that you weren't there on the team plane.
And they knew I was coming the next day.
Did you guys didn't have a team plane then, right?
No,
You just
Delta.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you ever take the team? Were you on the team when they got the team planes?
That was the year I retired.
Were you pissed?
No, because I guess they were like old planes. They're like 40 years old.
Yeah, but they refitted them though.
They just repainted them.
No, I think they refitted the interiors of them now.
Well, I don't know. I've never seen it.
Oh.
But it's still, the shell is still old.
But if you went, if you had like your own dedicated seat and all that, would that kind of aggravate you a little bit?
No. I like Delta. You know, Delta's not going to go down.
It's like a JetBlue plane.
They fly every day. But I'm
It's a Delta
saying
plane that they have now.
the Patriots fly 8 times a year.
Yeah.
Like a plane that's continuously being maintained and looked at, like you would say, like, okay, this thing's got a better shot than something that you just let sit outside all year round and you fly it 8 times. There's far less travel on those planes than there are like a plane that every how many hours they have to like inspect it and go through it and scan it and x-ray the wings and go through the
So you'd rather
motor.
be on a Delta.
Yeah, I'd rather go on a Delta flight.
Well, you wouldn't really fly. You would rather either take the train. Or it'd be car is your number one, train is number two, and then
I
plane
like
is
cars.
number
I
3.
do like cars.
So if you had to go out, for work in Los Angeles, you would fly in a plane.
I'll fly. Yeah.
But
fly.
that wouldn't be your number one choice.
No, it would be because it's more practical. But if I had to go like 2 hours away, I'd rather just drive.
No.
You
Well,
know.
why don't you drive to New York then?
Because that's 7 hours for traffic, like getting home.
Oh,
It's
there and
3
back.
hours there. It's like 6 back on a Friday.
Yeah.
So I can't do that.
So you just you Uber to the train?
No, I drive to the train, park there.
No, I'm saying in New York.
I Uber to the hotel, yeah.
Surprised you Uber.
Have to. My only choice. I'm
does
not
that
going
give you- does
not
that-
going in a taxi.
It's the same thing.
The taxis are gross.
So are
I do the
Ubers.
Uber Black. I do like the
Uh,
upper level Uber.
didn't one time you refused to take an Uber and you walked?
Yeah, one time. No, I refused to go on the subway, and I
Oh, that's
walked.
right.
Subway is disgusting.
So you would never go in the
They're
New
like
York
shoving
subway?
people in front of trains in New York.
Yeah,
Like you're standing at a platform and here comes a train and somebody just like, and you're dead. Stabbing, like Penn Station had like someone get stabbed in the neck a couple weeks ago.
It's because 10, 15 years ago, if you acted crazy at a train station, they'd give you like a sweater with long sleeves, and you'd be like, okay, put it on, and you put it on, and they just fucking tie you, put you in a van, take you somewhere. Now they just
leave you.
Yeah, who cares if you're screaming at a little kid that they stole your flower or something like that?
That's what most of the people that are homeless have mental illness, and before they used to throw you in a house. Now they just let you be.
Go.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that I never want to go I've never been in the New York subway, and I have no desire to ever go. Have you been in there?
Yeah. I went last week. I had to go because they had like the president was in New York City. So they said gridlock, like literally, I've never heard this before. Gridlock conditions. So like you don't move. Your car just sits there because they close down certain intersections.
Yeah.
So if you're in it, you don't move. So they're like, you have to take public transportation. So I had to get on it.
How was that?
Terrible. I took a picture of it. There was a guy walking.
Did you put all your clothes over your face?
Dude, there was a guy like walking around like singing, and he was terrible and like asking for money. Just people look like they needed a good scrubbing.
Have you seen like the videos on like TikTok and stuff like that of like people with like chickens on the train and stuff like that?
Dude, there's like
how bad would you freak out if that was like you get into a subway car and all of a sudden somebody starts walking their chicken?
I would literally just be like, what the hell am I doing here? Like, what's going on? Like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Where's the picture at?
You wear a mask?
No mask. It's over with. Well, it's not over with, but I think a lot of people at school have it right now. But, well, I think that's a wrap. I can't find the freaking picture. Oh well. I was in the subway. It wasn't cool.
All right, yeah. I think it's a good wrap. I'll get my my standings back. Be back in first place.
We will see.
And there's not many picks the opposite, but if they all hit, then
I'll be up 5.
No, you'll be down 4.
That's not gonna happen.
That's the plan. But check us out next week on YouTube, Apple TV, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, danandninko.com, Buzzsprout, right? Yeah. See, look, I got that one.
Oh, nice.
Look, threw that one in there.
Bing.
Make sure to get your Brent work gear. Use the Dan and Ninko code, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys. Go Pats. Throwbacks.